Hello and welcome to my channel. This will be the first video of many on this channel, so make sure to subscribe. In this video, my friend Larry and I will be discussing 10 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. So please sit back, take your tinfoil hats off, and enjoy. Number 10. COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO was an illegal and secret program commissioned by the FBI where they would infiltrate domestic political organizations to discredit them and smear them. Some of the groups and people targeted was Martin Luther King Jr., anti-Vietnam groups, feminist groups, and some widely known journalists. The FBI successfully kept this covered up until 1971 when the CCIF, Citizens Commission to Investigate the FBI, broke into an office and released all of the information to the news agencies.
Number 9. Operation Snow White was an illegal conspiracy conducted by the Church of Scientology during the 1970s. Their goal was to gain control of and get rid of fabricated claims against them. They did this by wiretapping, infiltrating, planting false evidence, and stealing documents in government agencies. Church members sought out and did this in 30 countries in over 136 government agencies. On July 8, 1977, the FBI conducted the largest raid in their history, discovering that over 5,000 Scientology agents had infiltrated several government buildings. 11 senior members are put on trial, and they are sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Number 8. Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a top-secret all-male society. Some of the world's most powerful and influential men meet here for a nice fun weekend once a year. It was rumored and speculated that at these meetings these men would worship a 40-foot-tall owl and indulge in other weird practices. This was just a conspiracy theory until the year 2000 when Alex Jones snuck into one of these meetings with a video camera and recorded the whole ceremony. The whole ceremony is on YouTube if you would like to check it out for yourself.
Number 7. The CIA and the illegal drug trafficking. The CIA has had several allegations made against them for illegal drug trafficking. Lots of evidences came out that definitely supports these claims. Until 2009, the newly elected president of Afghanistan was being paid by the CIA, and he has been known to have been involved in drug trafficking in the Middle East. Also, in 2013, 3 former federal agents told a TV network that CIA operatives were involved in the murder of a DEA covert agent, as this person was a threat to drug operations in Mexico. The global drug trade has been estimated to make $321 billion per year.
Number 6. Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods was a plan devised and approved by the U.S. military. The whole operation was based around creating acts of terrorism on U.S. soil in order to convince the public that we needed to go to war with Cuba. This plan would include innocent Americans being shot dead in the streets, people being framed for crimes they did not commit, planes being hijacked, and many more. Thankfully, President Kennedy did not approve of the plan and it never went through. Operation Northwoods was finally exposed on November 18, 1997 by the John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Review Board.
Number 5. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study was a study done by researchers who wanted to justify treatments for black men. They gathered 600 black men, 399 who had already had syphilis, and 201 without. Researchers told the men that they were only being treated for bad blood, not making them fully aware of what was truly going on. In exchange for being involved in this study, they were given free medical exams, free meals, and free burial insurance. When the funding for the study was lost, they never informed the infected men that they had the disease. And even after the treatment penicillin came out, none of the men were ever treated with it. This experiment was supposed to last 6 months, but wound up lasting 40 years. This information eventually saw the public eye in 1972 when a press story got a hold of it.
Number 4. Watergate. Watergate was a massive political scandal in the early 1970s which ended in President Richard Nixon's resignation from the Oval Office. In 1972, Edward Howard Hunt and G. Gordon Liddy led the Watergate team in which it would wiretap into the National Democratic Committee building in order to gain information for their candidate Richard Nixon. When his activities got exposed, he tried to cover up the evidence. Ultimately, people knew he was guilty and he resigned his presidency.
Number 3. Operation Mockingbird was a CIA campaign to try and influence domestic and foreign media. This campaign started in the 1950s and continued until at least the 1970s. They tried influencing the public opinion through the covert usage of propaganda. Using already famous publishers, they had access to several newspapers, news agencies, radio, television stations, book publishers, and foreign media outlets. Senator Frank Church argued that the public being misinformed costed American taxpayers roughly $265 million per year. The operation was officially taken down by George H.W. Bush in 1976, when he was appointed the director of the CIA.
Number 2. The Illuminati. When people think of the Illuminati, they usually think of the conspiracy theory that there are super rich, powerful people that control Hollywood and the music industry. Well, not everyone knows that the Illuminati was an actual secret society in 1776 called the Bavarian Illuminati. The Bavarian Illuminati got banned in 1785, but many people think that it is either still together or that it ended and secretly started back up to control media and politics all across the world.
Number 1. MK Ultra is the code name of a CIA program that experimented in behavioral engineering of humans from 1953 to 1973. This is sometimes referred to as CIA's mind control program. These tests are performed on human subjects, oftentimes illegal. These experiments were intended to identify and develop drugs to be used in interrogations and torture in order to weaken the force to confess using mind control. These tests are deeply disturbing and dangerous. One of their tests, Project Midnight Climax, had the CIA testing on what the effects of LSD would have on unsuspecting American citizens. They would hire prostitutes to dose clients while the CIA secretly observed. Eventually, agents would secretly dose civilians at beaches, bars, and restaurants. Project MK Ultra was finally brought to light in 1976 by the Church Committee of Congress. The CIA was to be investigated, but the efforts were hampered when the CIA director Richard Helms ordered that all files were to be destroyed. Eventually, most of the files were recovered and surviving information was declassified in July of 2001.
Well, there you have it. 10 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Next time someone tells you a conspiracy theory, make sure to have an open mind, because you never know what's real or not.